So excited. I have been accumulating all of the pieces to assemble my very own IKEA Milsbo glass display case, and I'm going to transform it into an indoor greenhouse to create idyllic conditions for my houseplant collection. So if it's something that you might be interested in, follow along. So I'm so excited because I feel like the project has been completed. I just want to give a final detailed tour of the cabinet. Cabinet lights on. So here is the cabinet in all of its glory, and just open it up here. So if you remember at the beginning, we weather stripped this entire doorway with this kind of flap right here. And then we have this kind of foam insulation here. And we've got the Grove light up here. This is by Soltech, and it's on magnets, and this can be slid around the top, or it can be twisted back and forth, directing the light where you want it to go. And right up here we have the Monstera Albo. This is its newest emergent leaf. We've got these fans on hooks, and then this one can also be on a hook, but I have it on a magnet right now. So I can just kind of hide the cord that's hanging right there, but it also gives me enough slack that I can move it back and forth if I need to. And we've got the cable management also up here behind the pegboard. And so this pegboard is on hooks right here. So this is the string of needles. It's up here on this corner riser. I love this corner riser right here. This right here is the Anthurium warocquianum, also known as the Queen Anthurium. This is just a little baby here, but it's in moss, but I'm thinking about moving it over to a chunky aeroid mix. This is the Monstera Burl Marks Flame, and this is the mix that the seller sent it in, which is some kind of a perlite lechuza kind of mix, and then I just took a little bit of the Molly's aeroid mix and put it on top. This is the Alocasia Frydek, and it's in a self-watering semi-hydro setup, and it's in tree fern fiber right now, and I really want to get a bigger self-watering mechanism for it and move it into lechuza pond. So right back there we've got the hygrometer saying that it's only 46% humidity in here right now. That's not great. This is the Monstera White Monster. I believe this is the Epiprimnum White Ghost, but it's losing its variegation and reverting back to green. But I wish that I could get its variegated leaves to propagate, but for some reason the green will propagate, but these will not propagate. This is my Monstera Adansonii that was given to me for Christmas. It's actually 2 cuttings that just rooted, and I just put them on this moss pole in a chunky aeroid mix. This is the Philodendron White Wizard. This is the first plant that I ever got in July of 2023, and it has been through a lot, but it's made a full recovery, and it's just given me this beautiful almost all white leaf, just barely emerging there, so very excited about that. The Barina T5 grow lights here. These were not long enough to be able to reach the ceiling of the cabinet, so I went ahead and did a set of Barina T5s on this whole shelf here. I was able to use the Modern Aqua shelves. They come with the pre-threaded brass inserts that you can just plug and play the Barina lights to them. So I love that. This right here is kind of an angled shelf, and I love that because it allows space for taller plants to be able to grow. And then if you just look down here at this shelf, it's a U-shaped shelf here. And then I have another pegboard on the side. Down here, we have the Thai Constellation. It is on a moss pole. It just put out this new leaf right here. Still no fenestrations, unfortunately, but very happy, healthy plant here. Still has not adhered to the moss pole, at least not above the soil line. So hoping that it will eventually adhere to this moss pole. This was my first moss pole project, but very excited about this new leaf that it's putting out here. Right down here, we've got the Syngonium, the variegated Syngonium arrowhead vine, and we just repotted this tonight. Just gave it a new orchid pot here and put that in the Molly's Chunky Aroid Mix. And these are just some of the cuttings from the Epiprimnum here. See that I've given it a pothos cutting, which it has a lot of rooting hormone in pothos. So that's supposed to help the roots of the other plants grow faster. But if you look here at the variegated ones, if you look carefully, they are not growing any roots, but all of the green ones are growing roots. If I was able to get it on a moss pole, it would hopefully size up. Then we've got, on the very bottom, we've got our AC Infinity fans blowing either way across the bottom. And this here is a heat mat, and it is on a thermostat, and that thermostat is right up there. That is the thermostat, right below the hygrometer. And you know, I am thinking that I may need to put a second hygrometer down here in the bottom. I feel like they're a little bit isolated up there and not getting the same levels of humidity, so I definitely need to get a second hygrometer to put in here. So I'll probably end up doing that. And then just to finish off, I've got two G Home Smart power cords in this under desk cable management, and we've got two of those. So let me just show you how this looks under here. Kind of a mess right now, but we've got all of the cables under there, and everything gets plugged into just one wire coming on the bottom. And this cord is just for that outside light, so noticeable. But really, once this thing is all plugged in and everything is set up, then you can have the cords really nice and neat and hidden, and only just the one cord, which, you know, who doesn't love that? Okay, so people said not to put a humidifier into the IKEA Milsbo glass display case because it could cause problems, but check this out. You can just control it with the smart switch. I could control the levels of humidity, and check it out. The hygrometer also reports back the humidity levels, so if it's getting a little dry in here, I can just pump it up with just a little bit of a humidifier boost. I love having the humidifier on the smart plug in here. I just wish that I had gotten a little black one instead, but how freaking cool is that? And you obviously can control all of the lights as well from the app. So we're just gonna label this one humidifier. Let's see, Google, turn on the humidifier.
Sure, turning 2 things on.
Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.